The only way you can pursue a lot of ideas at the same time is when you understand the concept of time a little bit differently than how we've been told what time is. So time, how it's been presented to us always is there's a certain amount of time that you need to utilize to get certain amount of things. But what I've understood about time is that time actually bends to human needs. Time is not something that defines our life. We define how time's going to show up in our life. To understand this concept a little bit further is to understand that if you've ever given, in high school, I don't know if it's true for Americans, but in Indians, for sure, in India, it's for sure that right before our exam is about to happen is when you cram the entire book in a day.
Yep, that's
Right?
pretty much America.
You have the whole year to take this book, and all you do is mess around and make fun of your teachers and not read and not do anything really, or do the homework but with the bare minimum amount of attention. And that one day before the exam, somehow you're laser focused and everything gets done in like that one day. Your understanding is at a level that you've never experienced before, and you can learn and remember everything in that one single day.
Right.
True for Americans.
Yeah.
True for Indians. And true for a lot of other cultures.
Yeah.
Because that's human trait. Human trait is that we are very, very good when we are given a task in a very short period of time. We make time bend to our needs.
Yes.
Right? And what tends to happen is, while we all know this, because we've all done this in high school at some level, even the pre-preparers may be the only group of people that actually study over the entire year. But most people are procrastinators, and they study in that last week, last month of the exams, right? And because of that, we all know that time will bend to our needs. Like time will somehow manufacture itself to get tasks that should take a month be done in a day, right? And that's what we need to understand about life. Our life, usually, how we approach time is there's a limited amount of time that we have. Instead of saying that time is infinite that I have till the time I utilize it in a way where it bends to my needs, I don't bend to it, right? So if you have a life that you want to live, if you have kids, if you have a day job and you want to build a coaching career on top of it, find how is it that you can bend time to your needs. Here's an idea or an example of an idea. If you are pursuing a coaching career, let's say you are using online marketing to build an online coaching career, right? You could wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and do your work before the kids wake up. Let's say they wake up at 7 or 6, whatever the time is. You've got an hour, maybe 2, to really go double down on whatever needs to be done in those 2 hours. You'll find because you have 2 hours, you'll get a lot more done than when you say, oh, I'm going to do it one day and think I'll do it over the weekend. You're going to waste the entire Saturday and not really do it. But you have 2 hours. You know the kids are going to wake up. The clock's ticking. You'll find yourself being hyper productive, right? You knock those 2 hours. Kids are up. You play with your kids. Make lunch for your kids. Do whatever you got to do with the kids. Drop them off to school. Go to your work. Go to your work. That's where you probably cannot time box so much because you're on somebody else's schedule. So, or bend the time so much because you're on somebody else's schedule. But maybe you can. If your workplace is something that you're working from home, it's a very big possibility that if you really bend time to your needs, which is you give yourself a task to a particular amount of time and say, I'm going to achieve it in this time, you'll find that while your job requires you to do that task over 8 hours, you could probably get it done in 4. It may seem unreasonable as I say it, but try it. I have seen it in my own team multiple times, and I have shown this technique to them multiple times, which is why my team prides to not working 40 hours a week, and I don't track them for 40 hours a week because I know that that's not the highest value I get out of them. Right? So they don't have to work 40 hours a team when they are on my team, and I don't track for it. And what happens then is now, let's say if you're working from home or you have a situation where you don't have to be in an office or show your face to a boss all the time, right? Get your job done in 4 or 5 hours. Now you have another 3-4 hours before you start to hang out with people, right? Or before you get your kid back from school. And let's say your partner is taking care of the kid that day or kids that day and you going out to meet people. And that's a negotiation, a conversation you have with your partner. You got another couple of hours to probably bang out that thing that you may have remained from the morning 2 hours that you still have to get done. Get that done. Pick up your kid. Be really present with your kid. Cook for them. Go to the park with them. Whatever you got to do with them, do with them. 2 hours, 3 hours. And then if you have an agreement with your partner, some days your partner gets to go out. Sometimes you get to go out. Sometimes you get a babysitter, so both of you can go out, right? So you go, Today's the day when my partner's watching the kids. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to have my life. And I come back and I sleep on time so I can wake up at 5 in the morning next day again. Right? Again, it's all time being bent to your needs. You're not bending to the need of time. You are bending time to your needs. Next day, you're watching the kids all evening. Plan the activity. Say, what are we going to do? How is this going to be the most meaningful, juicy, fun thing that my kids could have done today? How can I be the most present partner I can be? Because today is that day, right? Another day, it's date night. Oh, great, it's date night. Today, somebody else takes care of the kids and you both get to have fun. Great. Let's make it the most juicy, fun 3 hours that we have because we have a 3-hour support and somebody watching the kids. But that's how you bend time to your needs. So right now, I have 3 different businesses that I run. I coach 2 other companies. I have incredible amount of time with my kids. Like, we have a lot of time that I spend with my kids. So much time that I spend with my kids that my mom was surprised last time she saw me and she was like, your father, even me as your mother, never spent this much time with you guys, the amount of time you as a father spend with your kids. So that's the amount of time that I spend with my kids. Me and my wife travel everywhere. We have the most amazing partnership. We do things together. Literally yesterday was date night, and sometimes it's friends night, and it's movie nights, and it's parties. Is everything that you can imagine that a person can do is in my life. And I still can knock out probably more work than anybody else does in the limited amount of time I have. And the reason is not because I am some God-sent person, but everything is designed for time to bend to my needs. I'm not listening to time. Time's got to listen to me.